Hey, awesomes! Still here in week 9, getting caught up from week 8. Talking about, we got the overview video. We talked a little bit about this week being, we're working on project 3. And of course, obviously, too, talked about the sample video, which I got cut off just before I was getting ready to say, stay safe, stay awesome, bye. And I didn't make it. So I'm going to try not to let that happen again. But I wanted to kind of discuss if I can get my, project 3 resources. I'd mentioned this in the week 9 overview video where the task scheduler and the data collection methods were example. The data collection method was like a list of examples that you could use, and that the task scheduler was primarily a suggestion or a recommendation. And so one of the other reasons kind of use this particular one as a sample, it kind of uses kind of the idea and the concept behind what is meant kind of in this task scheduler, especially if there's this contribution value, so that everyone is kind of, so you got this value of background information. So they assign that a 2. The project 3 needs assessment was assigned a 4, 2, and then the owner, and then they did this calculation so that it seemed like everyone came up with around the same value, if you will, in being assigned a particular task, right? So you've got these are not necessarily coincided directly with these particular people, but that's who owns them. And they've given them these values, and so they come up with this. And so how you assess these values, particularly here, it could be based on the fact that the background information had a value of 2 because it had 2 steps to it. Perhaps, if I remember correctly, I think that this I don't want to say it was done necessarily in paragraphs, but in some sort of way. Each one of the sections would have maybe so much of a value, and as far as maybe time, this might be hours that they estimated how much time this would take to arrive at these particular values. And then, so that is kind of the idea. That's why there's this contribution value here that you discuss with your team as far as, okay, what does that look like? But you've got the task who, maybe there's a deadline. They put the contribution value, as you saw, on the left-hand column. And then they did the start and a finish, kind of did something different. Instead of just putting a deadline, they put a start and a finish, and that's kind of how they kept track of it as they moved through the process and through the project. And then quickly to these data collection methods, there's advantages and challenges for things for you to think about. Obviously, most of these are going to be, you can use to different varying degrees. These, like I said, these are more just common ones, for needs assessment. Obviously, these are mostly going to deal mostly with primary type of research. Obviously, you're going to be hopefully focusing mostly on secondary research and not don't overly task yourselves, as I've mentioned and I'm going to continue to mention over and over and over again, to not task yourselves too heavily with the primary research. But I think, in some of our cases, it's good to get some primary research, but I don't want you to feel pressured to do the face-to-face kind of research. Totally fine, and it's more than acceptable right now if everything is done via survey. If you want to do an observation that is in a particularly safe environment, then that would be up to you, but it is not required. Face-to-face, one-to-one interaction or involvement or experiences and stuff like that is not required this semester for this project or anything that we're doing, any of my classes. So please understand that. My primary concern is that we stay safe and keep being awesome. All right, there's other samples here I can go over if we need to. I'm going to wait and field any questions that I get regarding this. But feel free to, again, remember you got an extra week for your project planning purposes. And then later on in the week, this week, I'll start talking about the Project 5 report structure. Feel free to take a look at it because it gives you an idea of what your what Project 5, which is where we're headed, looks like. And we'll go over that later part of this week. All right, guys, hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, stay safe, stay awesome. If there's anything I can do for you, do not hesitate to send me an email, and I hope to get caught up with grading soon. All right, bye, guys. Thank you.